So you are in a plex, just minding your own business, and suddenly a Condor comes in. You immediately lock and start approaching him. Basically you're doing everything right. But you don't have a scrambler, so you can't hold him in place. So, what do? First thing to do is don't give up. If it is a kite ship, you're very likely fucked. But take this time to practice your anti-kiting game. First load your longest ranged ammo. And then check the range. You can check the range by hovering with your mouse over your gun. Here you can see my optimal range is 8.6 kilometers. As my normal optimal is 21 kilometers with Scorch, I now know that he has 2 tracking disruptors fitted. Now get a good look and see how he is maneuvering. Here you can see he's moving in a straight line, he's not circling me. His speed varies between 500 meters a second and about 2 kilometers a second. And his range varies between 14 kilometers and 21 kilometers. This means he's probably using keep at range. Currently I'm chasing him, but because he's faster, I'm never going to reach him. What I can do is change direction. A sudden change in direction often opens up a gap between you and the opponent. That is because the Eve surfer or the opponent is often slow to react to sudden speed and distance changes. What you are trying to do is get him to chase you, overcommit and then suddenly reverse direction and approach him again. You can use this tech to try and grab him or possibly to escape. In this case, my opponent didn't have enough capacitor to power his micro warp drive disruptor and 2 of his tracking disruptors. One of the tracking disruptors dropped off, allowing me to shoot him. This next fight is also against a micro warp driving tracking disruptor fit. In fact, this fight has already been going on for more than 5 minutes, and as you can see I'm taking the time to reload my nanite paste. This is what you see most kiters do. They orbit at about 20 kilometers, just keep their micro warp drive on and try to hit you. But as you can clearly see, if you pilot well, this isn't as easy as it looks. If you just sit still in space while the Firetail is orbiting you, his guns will do 100% of their damage. Their tracking is good enough to hit you at that range. If you move in a straight line, something odd happens. When the opponent that is orbiting you is heading in the same direction, it still applies 100% of its damage. But when it's moving at 90 degrees, it's only applying 80% of its damage. And when it's moving directly against you, it's only applying 10% of its damage. The exact numbers depend on the type of gun, the tracking enhancers and all kind of other things. But these numbers apply to this fight. A Firetail with artillery against a slicer with an afterburner. So I'm manually piloting here to maximize the amount of time that I'm flying directly against his direction, so that the damage is reduced by about 90%. If I keep on clicking, I could probably tank this forever, but I've alerted the Alliance mate and hopefully he will arrive in a few minutes to bail me out. Just remember that if you get kited, there are some things you can do, and even if you can't catch them, you might be able to hold out long enough for somebody to come and rescue you.